Despite all the rumors lately, the Kingpyn semifinals are still going to be happening this Saturday, July 15th, or tomorrow whenever this video comes out. It's still happening despite Kingpyn going bankrupt last week. However, the fights are now getting streamed free on DAZN Boxing, and I think Kingpyn were bought out by MVP, Most Valuable Promotions. The event was originally going to be cancelled, but I guess it's now back on for July 15th. So we still get to see the fights like Whindersson Nunes vs King Kenny as the main event, and of course the co-main AnesonGib vs Jarvis. In this video I want to give my prediction on how I think these fights could go. There are some other fights on this card, but in this video I'd want to go over these main and co-main fights specifically. But first let's talk about the co-main event, which is Gib vs Jarvis. So in the quarterfinals, Gib rematches Austin McBroom and was the main event of that card. The fight went on for 3 rounds until Austin had his ankle broken in the fight. So the fight got stopped and Gib was of course the winner. That same night, Jarvis also was able to stop Tom Zanetti in the 3rd round, as Tom just straight up quitted and let Jarvis have the win. So now, with these two winning, it sets them up perfectly. However, people now think Jarvis could have a chance to beat Gib, and I'll get into what I think personally. In my opinion, there's a possibility this fight could be pretty competitive, but also I'm not really sure if Jarvis can really beat Gib. He might have the better technique, but experience wise I don't really see it. Gib is really known for his good cardio, and he's gone all rounds in some of his previous fights. With Jarvis, he's faced Michael Lee, a TikToker, and Tom Zanetti, who, while yes, he went all rounds with Slim. But to be honest, Tom was almost winning the fight against Jarvis until he quit, of course. Not saying Jarvis didn't show anything that night, cause he did. He looked like a pretty solid fighter, but again, we haven't seen much for us to say if he can truly beat Gib. Gib may not have the best technique, but people like him or KSI beat people with better technique just from hard work and mindset alone. Of course, both Jarvis and Gib are going to want it more than the other, so I see this as a competitive fight, if I'm being honest. I'm going to have to go with Gib by unanimous decision. There's a lot of pressure on Gib if he doesn't win this. Even his strength and conditioning coach, Leon Wills, claims that if Gib doesn't win, he should just straight up retire. So I'm just going to have to go with Gib on this one. Also, unlike the last event, Gib is now the co-main, as after the Whindersson Nunes fight, the stadium was halfway empty, as most people were actually there for only Whindersson. And now that leads on to the next fight that I want to predict in this video. Whindersson Nunes vs King Kenny. This one could also be pretty competitive in my opinion. Whindersson Nunes won by 2nd round TKO against Filipek in the last event. It showed some pretty great skill. However, Kenny is also pretty skilled, and he's shown to have the ability to go the distance with people like Face Sensei, who is technically one of the top dogs in the scene. He also came off a knockout victory against my mate Nate on the last event, so that's how he got the fight with Whindersson. I think Kenny has a height advantage here, and one thing that Kenny is really good at is his defense and jab. If he uses those to his advantage, I could see Kenny winning by either split or unanimous decision. Whindersson Nunes is tough, and I think he'll be able to take punches to the face, but also he could win if Kenny makes the same mistake he made when he was fighting Ashley Raksu by not throwing any punches. So with Whindersson and Kenny, depends on how either of them fight that night. I got either one of them for a split or unanimous decision. Or to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if this ends in a draw, but of course we'll just have to see what happens this Saturday. Anyways, that's my predictions for this fight. I got Gib to win against Jarvis, and either a draw or decision win by either Kenny or Whindersson. I can't really tell, to be honest, so we'll just have to see what happens on Saturday. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below and what your predictions are for these fights. Thank you guys for everything. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell to never miss out on brand new videos. Also, episode 2 of the YouTube Boxing Retrospective is out now, so go check out that series as well. In that episode, we go over the KSI vs Logan Paul 2 fight, as well as some other fights that happened during that time period. So please check out that series. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I am Mega Shadow, signing out. Peace.